Hey guys, time for another quick rundown on the run. I'm in Los Angeles, still taking a look at some games that are going to be shown off at E3, getting a little bit of a sneak peek. I can't talk about any of them, but I've been having a good time, and I've got another big day ahead of me today, taking a look at tons of stuff. But I wanted to talk about a few big things that have been going on. First up, we've got the confirmation that D.B. Weiss and David Benioff are doing the next Star Wars movie. This was from the man himself, Bob Iger, at a recent conference. Didn't elaborate, didn't say anything else, but it certainly leads a lot of credence to the rumor and I think the exclusive that was just dropped by John Campea on his YouTube channel, I think over the weekend, that Rian Johnson's Trilogy has been put on the back burner because, as we all know, there's been a slowdown on Star Wars after Rise of Skywalker. Comes up at the end of this year. They're going to take a little bit of a break, Disney and Lucasfilm, on making Star Wars movies. We've got all the Star Wars TV shows and stuff coming for Disney Plus, but we're not going to get all of the Star Wars films like we've been getting over the last few years. Largely, I think, due to the fact that The Last Jedi wasn't the movie that brought us all together as Star Wars fans. Let's just say that. Let's charitably say that. And then Solo was a disappointment, as we all know. But Rise of Skywalker looks like it's going to be a lot of fun and a return to form. And I think J.J. Abrams knows that he's got some pretty big expectations to meet and some hopes to fill, and I think he wants to send off his trilogy in a nice way. But we're taking a break, and then the Game of Thrones guys are stepping up to plate with something that's supposed to be based on the Old Republic and take us back in time in Star Wars lore, which could be very interesting, and hopefully it has some connections to the KOTOR games or the Old Republic massively multiplayer online game. But excited to see what the Game of Thrones guys put together for Star Wars. I think that this is, kind of bad news for Rian Johnson fans out there. I am a Rian Johnson fan. I think he is, he's a talented filmmaker, and he's made some really cool movies. I love Looper. I think he made a cool movie with The Last Jedi. He just didn't make a movie that brought all the Star Wars fans together, which is a problem, right? There's a bit of fan service that you need to kind of appreciate in there, and it sounds... it looked like with The Last Jedi, he really wanted to reboot a lot of stuff. Not a bad idea, but maybe that kind of should have been saved for something else that he would do with Star Wars. Even like a Star Wars story like Rogue One. Anyways, there's no confirmation that Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy is canceled or it's off. Maybe he comes back to it later. Maybe he's participating in the D.B. Weiss and David Benioff collaboration there. Maybe he's a part of it. Maybe he's going to direct one of them. Who knows? But it's confirmed that the Game of Thrones guys are making the next Star Wars game. The Game of Thrones guys are making the next Star Wars movie. Now, we also have heard that James Wan, the director of Aquaman, is producing a Mortal Kombat film. He's hired a first-time director, and it goes to camera in 2019. So this makes it a massive year for Mortal Kombat fans out there, with the excellent Mortal Kombat 11 out, and new characters kind of being teased, and more content coming for that game. I think the head of Warner Brothers Games said that there's going to be content coming for this game for many, many months, if not years. But the movie, I think it's in good hands. We all saw with Aquaman that James Wan is able to pull a lot of money out of Warner Brothers. And presumably there will be a lot of money put into the Mortal Kombat film. And hopefully what I want to see happen is that they work with the game makers to kind of really make the story kind of connect in a way that honors all of the source material and really makes fans happy. I think they have all of the effects, capabilities that you could imagine. If anybody's seen Aquaman and seen the craziness that they put on screen for that, I think we can expect that kind of level of insanity with the Mortal Kombat film. I liked what Kevin Tancharoen did with the Mortal Kombat Legacy series. I thought those were really fun. I got to actually be a part of one of those episodes as a TV guy talking about Johnny Cage, which was really crazy. But I'm super happy for Mortal Kombat fans. I'm super happy for the NetherRealm guys, and especially for Ed Boon and John Tobias, who have watched their baby grow up and become this multimedia juggernaut. So hopefully the Mortal Kombat film is great, but it's in good hands with James Wan and company. And speaking of fighting games that I am so happy to see returning, obviously this isn't new news. The Genjuro trailer, I think, just recently dropped out for SNK's Samurai Shodown. It's a prequel game. It's coming out next month. I think it's PlayStation 4 console exclusive, and it's coming to the PC. I cannot freaking wait for this game. I loved the original game, and there's an interesting story about that. When Electric Playground started, the very first game that was sent to us as a media entity was Samurai Shodown, but it was from Crystal Dynamics, who used to be a publisher before they were bought by, I don't know, US Gold or IDOS or whatever. They're owned by Square Enix now, but Crystal Dynamics used to publish their own games, and the system that we got Samurai Shodown for was the 3DO, and we played that for hours. It was a freaking incredible experience. It was really my first exposure to SNK fighting games, and I've always loved that franchise. I love the weapon combat. And the cast of characters is incredible. And clearly what SNK has been able to do is learn from what Capcom has recently done with the Street Fighter games, and they've made a kind of a cel-shaded, beautiful animation kind of quality to the combat, which looks as brutal and deadly and bloody as ever. And I cannot wait to play the brand new Samurai Shodown. Okay, you guys, that is going to do it for our rundown on the run today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll try to make another one of these tomorrow. And in the meantime, play forever.